everybody. I'm gonna jump straight into this one. I always like talking about leadership topics. The first one I'm gonna have will come from this book, a book that I've been reading from quite often, "Developing the Leader Within" by John Maxwell. It's an awesome read. So I'll jump right into it. This is right in the introduction. It says leadership can be taught. Leadership is not an exclusive club for those who were born with it. The traits that are the raw materials of leadership can be acquired. Link them up with desire, and nothing can keep you from being a leader. I find that very interesting and very true. I'm going to read a little bit more. Leadership is developed, not discovered. The truly born leader will always emerge, but to stay on top, natural leadership characteristics must be developed. In working with thousands of people that became leaders, I've discovered that all of them fit into four categories of, or four levels of leadership. All right. So the first level is the leading leader. The leading leader, and their characteristics go as follows: is born with leadership qualities, so they have it already. It's already in them. Leadership qualities are already, they're born with it. The second part of it is has seen leadership model, has seen a leadership model throughout life. So not only have they been born with natural leadership skills and qualities, they have seen a leadership model throughout their life that shows them what it looks like. The next one is has learned and added leadership through training. Leadership can be trained, like I said. I mean, like the book says, I didn't make it up. They have learned leadership qualities through training. And the fourth one is has self-discipline to become a great leader. And in leadership, I can tell you, discipline is probably the biggest component that you need to have. Self-discipline to become a great leader. Three out of these qualities are required. Not four, but you got to have at least three of them. The second type of leader that it says in the book is the learned leader. The learned leader. It says that the learned leader has seen leadership modeled most of his life. So that individual has seen an example of leadership most of their life. The second one, it says that it has learned leadership through training. So once again, has seen the model for it and has learned leadership through training. And the third thing, it talks about, once again, self-discipline. It says has the self-discipline to become a great leader. All right? So all three of these qualities are required for the learned leader. All three are required for the learned leader. The next leader that we find here in the reading is the latent leader. The latent leader. What it says about the latent leader is has just recently seen a leadership model. So an example of leadership is new to this leader. Just seen a leadership type of model. And is learning to be a leader through training. So they've recently seen a leadership model and they are learning to be a leader through training. And once again, has to have the self-discipline to become a good leader. It's going to say that in every last one of them. Has to have the self-discipline to become a good leader. The next leader is the limited leader. The limited leader. And with the limited leader, it says has little or no exposure to leaders. The limited leader has had little or no exposure to leaders, has little or no exposure to leadership training, has little or no exposure to leadership training, and has a desire to become a leader. Not necessarily the self-discipline, but the desire to become a leader. All three can be acquired. Now, when I look at this, and I think about a few of the things I've done in my life, from developing a business, taking people from an entry level of a company and teaching them how to run a company of their own. I've seen all of those types of leaders. And it's always interesting to find the ones that have, that leading leader quality. But I've seen those not be successful mainly because of the lack of the self-discipline that it takes to become a great leader. They've seen leadership models. They've had some training in leadership, but for the most part, there's the lack of self-discipline. Now, what I found interesting in coaching, high school coaching, is the limited leader. Just depending on where you are, in the community that I grew up in, we had a lack of leadership throughout. So, individuals getting exposed to an example of leadership was slim to none. Getting leadership training, I mean, if you don't have leaders there, you can't get leadership training. So it's slim to none. But they had the desire to become leaders. And I was glad to have the opportunity to be around my young kings for so long, for the time that I was there, because I had an opportunity to provide an example of leadership to them, and I also gave them a model of success to follow. I gave them a blueprint, and the results speak for themselves. We've done, we've made some positive changes. There's a lot more positive changes that need to be made, but just following this example of leadership was a good way to help people out in my community, and that's why I like giving this information to you guys now. So I'm gonna go through it again. This is just the beginning. I'll be covering a lot of information. You guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on my Instagram and Facebook. And I'm going to continue to give this information out because I think that it's something that can help everyone. So this is Developing the Leader Within by John Maxwell. I didn't make this up. I didn't make it up. All I did was use it as the example to help me along in my journey. The leading leader, the learned leader, the latent leader, and the limited leader. Those are 4 types of leaders that are out there that exist in this world. Find out which one you are and strive to become or get to the highest level of leadership you can get to, so you can be a positive influence to yourself and the other people that surround you in life. All right? Thank you, guys.